After a wild and chaotic doubleheader at Willow Springs International a couple of weeks ago, which saw some crazy accidents in both races and multiple championship implications come into play, we head to Devil's Bowl Speedway for the first and only dirt track race of the West Series season, and with only 3 races to go, and we still have 5 drivers with a real shot at this championship. It's the Whataburger 200 at Devil's Bowl Speedway, race 6 of the 2024 Amsoil West Series Championship. What's up, everyone? It's your boy Race 97, aka Nathan Stapleton, and welcome to Devil's Bowl Speedway. And this is gonna be a fun one. Last year we were here for a double with the West Antarctica series. We brought it back, and this track, we saw caution-free races in both races last year, but it was close. There was some close calls, and it's a lot narrower of a dirt track than some of the others that we've gone to, like Eldora or Oswego Dirt. So, gonna have to see how that plays out, but with only 3 races to go, it is getting tight for the championship. And once again, it's just like last year with a veteran of Juan Garcia and a rookie of David Dixon trading blows with each other this season, but possibly with a late season challenge from Bruno Giacomo. I'm not alone for this one. For a first time in a while, we got Chase Harris up here in the booth, and Chase, welcome to Devil's Bowl.
Thank you. I've never commentated a race at this racetrack, so I'm interested to see kind of how it plays out. But it's interesting. The championship is kind of winding down. Only 3 races left, and we've got a championship contender starting up front, a couple championship contenders starting in the back. So should be an interesting one for sure.
Absolutely, hit the nail on the head. Second in points, Juan Garcia still second here tonight. Meanwhile, Giacomo and David Dixon still in the back of the field, so that's going to play everything in the loop, because we don't really know if we will have a caution or not. Last year, we had no cautions, and it was kind of interesting to see how that plays out. For those drivers in the back, especially Giacomo and David Dixon in the number 77, who's been very consistent this season, what do they need to do to go from back to the front and catch up to Juan Garcia here at this dirt track?
Well, it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy to make passes at a dirt track. It never is, and so they're in a tough spot right now. But I think the key here is to not overstep your car. Don't run it out of the groove, because if you smack the wall, it could end your day. So ultimately, just stay in the groove, stay calm, and it could play into your favor. But right now, you still got 3 races left. Just see what you can get out of the day, and live to fight for the next 2 weeks.
And we'll see what David Dixon and Giacomo can do. Giacomo has really kicked it into high gear late in the season, and we'll see what he can do. He is the point standings with 3 races left in the West Series Championship. David Dixon has a 2-point lead over Juan Garcia and Bruno Giacomo, tied for second. And then Angel Hernandez is in 4th in points, -6. Ryan DeWine is in 5th, -8. Tampon is in 6th, -10. Igor Boretto is in 7th, -11. Charlie Davenport, who's on pole here today, is in 8th, -12, tied with Miss Andrew Williams, the season opening winner at Evergreen. And then running out the top 10 is Mackenzie Sanders, -14. So really, the top 10 have a mathematical shot. It is about 20 points, I believe, for the max amount. So really, the top 15 have a mathematical shot still. But it's really been the top 5, top 6, and we'll see what ends up happening here today. It is Charlie Davenport on the pole, and the launch line is Juan Garcia. Roll number 2 is Josephine O'Neill, and the number 46 of Tana Pun. Roll number 3 is the number 4 of Igor Boretto, and the number 19 of Ryan DeWine. Roll number 4 is Andrew Williams, and the 15 of Reggie Fogelman. And running out the top 10 is the number 41 of Andrew Miller, and the 8 of Chris Jericho, who has flipped 2 or 3 times already, and hopefully that doesn't happen here once again. Here we go, 50 laps. It's going to be a quick race, but a very treacherous dirt track. Walls along the outside. How do you think this is going to shake out for 50 laps?
Oh no. Yeah, again, I have no clue what to expect this track, but it's going to be really, really interesting. And I'm feeling there, you said there weren't any cautions last year, but I still think you might have seen some contact.
Oh yeah, definitely. There was some close calls. To see what happens again for these drivers. Only 3 races to go, and it's getting down into crunch time scenario for these 18 drivers. Charlie Davenport and Ron Garcia will lead us to the green. And we are still racing at Devil's Bowl Speedway for the 2nd year in a row. The Whataburger 200 races of the season is green at Devil's Bowl Speedway. O'Neal going for the race lead early, 3 wide early and often. We will see that all day long, but will it work? That is the big time question. O'Neal going for the race lead, and you always see is 2 and 3 lanes maybe here at Devil's Bowl Speedway, and if you go off the cushion, we're going for a wide.
Yeah, I can definitely tell. And look at how tight it is off of turn 4. It's just so easy to knock that wall down. And Josephine O'Neal in the lead. And I'll tell you what, this 4 car is moving right now. Easily the fastest car on the track, in my opinion, right now, is Igor Barreto. We're going to see if he can get up there and challenge O'Neal for the lead. Looks like he will off turn 4.
A great one already from Barreto. And he's going to take second and maybe even take the race lead 3 wide in the back. We're in the middle of the field. That's 13 of Gabe Willard, side by side with Dewani. And looks like the 23 of Andrew Williams. They're going to make contact in the back. Can keep it straight. O'Neal was under heavy charge from the 4 of Barreto, and we saw this last year. We might not have had any cautions, but we saw a lot of close battles, and we are seeing once again for the race lead.
Igor Barreto not leaving Josephine O'Neal any room as they fire off into one. Barreto is trying to slide jobs, more contact. The 4 car very aggressive early on, really wants to lead, but O'Neal is rolling the top really well.
Kind of interesting to see. We didn't really see that last season here. It was mostly the Bonbon. O'Neal must have had a good car. It's not been a great season for that number 70, but doing a good job out front. Still trying to fight back. Ron Garcia still winning in the 3rd position. And meanwhile, Dave Dixon and the number 16 of Diacono. Diacono is dead last. And David Dixon starting to make some moves. Look at this move from O'Neal dropping back to the bottom. And look at the 7 back there. That's Angel Gutierrez making it 3 wide back there, Chase.
Oh man, that's going to be tight off turn 4. Looks like they might get it sorted out, potentially. Oh, and he's going to push the 46 off into turn 1. Man, these guys are not playing nice right now, but they're surviving. Meanwhile, Josephine O'Neal with the crossover on Igor Barreto and takes the lead back.
Some good old-fashioned short track, dirt track racing, and this is more of a short track dirt track than an actual dirt track with how tight the track is. Angel Gutierrez has had a struggling season this season, and hoping for the best and maybe get something going in either the JBL Cup Series or Quick Between National Series next year. But he might be in position to get a win if he does not get turned by Tanner Pond right there. I mean, now this is starting to turn into what we saw last year. After the first 10 laps, things started to calm down a little bit up front and some more single file action, but why do I say that? Gutierrez wins that 2nd place spot.
Yeah, this 2nd place battle is heating up. I'll tell you what, the 7 car of Angel Gutierrez has really got a strong race car, I think. Might have the best car in the field right now, but it's like going to get alongside Barreto. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. O'Neal, I think, has a really good car in clean air, but I don't know if it's quite as fast as the 7 or even the 4 car right now.
And the unique thing about this track, they've won against the cushion all by themselves. And the 70 about got turned by Angel Gutierrez. And that's the part of this very narrow racetrack. They won the bottom to make the passes. They won up top normally to defend their passes from someone else. A aggressive move from Angel Gutierrez was going to eventually work out for him. New race leader, the number 7, that's going to do a slide job and officially take the race lead.
Yeah, it's definitely the battle of slide jobs right now. You're seeing anyone on the bottom really drive it off in the corner, but O'Neal's going to try the crossover again, just like 70 car did a few laps ago. So Josephine O'Neill is not giving this race lead up very easily. Gonna keep fighting for it, and you can see a battle for third now. Pretty much battles all throughout the track.
You have a battle for first, a battle for third, a battle for fifth, a battle for ninth, for seventh and ninth. We got battles all over the place. And O'Neill trying to door slam the number 7 right there. The one downside is that the camera angles are not the best, but we make do with what we do as long as the racing is tight and good. And that's what we've been seeing already on lap 17 to 50, clean and green. O'Neill hangs on, but how long will she have it? Had a up and down season, and we're having a up night here tonight. Gonna quickly look at the field. Diacono still in the back, and then the number. See, the 77 of Ditson is moving already inside the top 10 and 9th in 18 laps. Ditson might have something for the number 19, or the 17 rather, and it might be close for the championship between those two. It might be close for the race lead between Gutierrez and O'Neill.
Yeah, it's close. And I'll tell you, Gutierrez and Parton are the two most aggressive drivers in the field today. There is no question. They've been pulling slide jobs. They've been knocking people out of the way. No chill at all from the 7 or the 46 car. Parton's under pressure. This is some really, really close racing, man. We're very lucky no one's been turned to the inside wall on the front stretch yet with how tight it is off of turn 4.
Absolutely. We saw this last year, and once again, fairly surprised that we've not seen a wreck yet. O'Neill, high up pouching off turn 4 once again. Turn 4 is the 12 spot, and a slide jump from Charlie Davenport moves the C1 champion out of the groove a little bit.
That was close.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe just a little. O'Neill side by side for the race lead. Gonna do a slide jump of her own. And one thing I'm noticing, Chase, these slide jobs are getting more and more aggressive, and we're not halfway through, and that could be bad news for someone if this keeps on going.
Absolutely. These slide jobs are only going to get more aggressive as this race goes on. We're already almost halfway through, and it's the crossover battle for the lead, man. I'm telling you, this is pretty awesome right here. This looks like some sprint car type stuff right here between O'Neill and the 7 of Gutierrez. This is pretty spectacular stuff, but can they keep it up without wrecking?
Absolutely. This is almost like, say, I don't know, Rico Abu, Kyle Olsen type stuff here for the race to lead. As someone, Reggie Fogelman just went
blown up.
That's unfortunate for Reggie Fogelman in the 15. Not been a good season for him, and it continues here. Not been a good season for Reggie Fogelman in that 15.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's a shame because it's been a clean race up. Even now it's still a clean race. So to have a motor blow up, even with all this battling, man, that sucks because you can really make up spots. Unless the 7 and 70 keep crossing each other over, then you're really not gonna be able to make any time on the leaders because these guys are going back and forth right now. This is some of the best racing I've seen stock cars do on a dirt track in quite a while.
It's impressive what I've done with these dirt tracks, especially with Oswego and Devil's Bowl. Don't go to too many of them, but we might have something in mind for the JBL Cup. So you just have to wait and see. We might have something in mind for the race to lead. And a side-by-side battle with third, that's Davenport and last year's Alpha Champ of Tampa going for the race lead. And here's the crucial thing. Right now you see the 17, Alon Garcia, in the 6th position. And then you see David Ditson currently trying to hang on to the 9th place spot. That would mean maybe 2 points the other way for Juan Garcia leaving here as of now. It's going to be a dogfight between those two for the rest of the season. And it's a dogfight for the race to lead. We have 20 laps to go already. And it might just be crossover city between these two for the next 20 laps.
It's going to be battle of the crossovers. I'll tell you who has really not gained a whole lot of ground is Diacomo, man. That Bruno Diacomo is just, it's been a struggle today for that team, and that is not good for their championship implications. But they'll still have 2 more races to try and make it happen. But so far, I don't think this 16 car has the pace to be up there in the top 10. But running 11th right now, so you never know.
Yeah, definitely have to see what the 16 can do. Had a really good car in the first Willow Springs race, but blew up. That enabled him to the pole with the full field input, and he just ran away with it in the second one. So it's kind of like a what if at Willow Springs if he at least finished the first one better than he could enter here as the point leader. But that's not what ends up happening. And tell you what, I don't know if we will have a caution. This might be another caution-free race here. But the fans are getting their money's worth here tonight for night one of this doubleheader as O'Neal about put the 7 of Gutierrez into the outside wall. And we got a battle once again for the first place spot, the third place spot, and the fifth place spot, and the seventh place spot.
Yeah, it's pretty much everywhere. Both fields battling, and it's very entertaining. O'Neal and Gutierrez have been going at it for about the whole race, and 70's going to take the lead. How long until the 7 makes a crossover again? You know, so, I mean, it's crazy how this track works, and you know, here it comes. So I mean, this is literally going to be a battle of who can time it the best. That's the battle, and I think it'd almost be better if you try to not clear the car in front of you, so that way you can kind of force them side by side, get them off turn 4. It's going to be interesting to see the strategy here in the last 15 or so laps.
Definitely, and maybe the strategy is just taking out the competition. Don't want that to happen, but a couple laps ago there was some contact entering turn 1, there's some contact off turn 4, and these two are starting to go at it for the race lead, and not just with slide jobs, with some contact as well. And this has been the start of the show here tonight between these two, the 7 and the 70. But cannot forget this great battle for third between Charlie Davenport and Tampon, and a great battle for fifth between the 17 and the 4. Just battles all over the place. The field definitely a lot spread out than what we are used to. But this is what we saw last year, and who knows, maybe this is what we will see here tomorrow night with 24 Elka cars instead of 18 West Series cars. But here we go, 10 laps to go, side by side again, almost contact. And Lucas is as good as mine if he gets those race win.
What I'm noticing is whenever somebody takes the lead, they cannot hold that middle lane that, the inside car when they're side by side can. So it's almost like clean air is almost worse than dirty air. I think the car's driving better in dirty air than they are in clean air. That's kind of interesting to see how that works. But crossover heaven right now. If you like crossovers, this is the race to watch. Josephine O'Neal is going to take the lead back again. It'll be about a lap and a half before Gutierrez is back, and so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, these two definitely are the fastest cars, and they're having a ball out there here at Devil's Bowl Speedway, just doing crossovers. We don't see this almost anywhere else. We see it a little bit at Oswego Dirt, but not to this extreme. And we'll see if the 7 can get back to the 70. Actually doing a good job leading at the moment. And we'll see what ends up happening for this number 70 of O'Neal. Needs a good one of any kind to build up any momentum for the last 2 races of the season. And now these tires, there's not much tire, but there is some, about a couple of tenths. And they might be affecting these guys, and O'Neal might be the one to hang on for the final 5 laps in this one.
Yeah, Gutierrez is starting to struggle a little bit behind O'Neal. O'Neal's kind of running right on the cushion, and that's a good place to run. Gutierrez, I think, is getting a little over-aggressive with these moves, but you saw closed in 1 and 2 there. I don't think this race is over.
It might not be done yet. I believe one of the races had a side-by-side photo finish last year. It's still not over. We have 4 laps to go. Who knows? We could have a side-by-side battle once again. Angel Gutierrez seems to be better in 3 and 4. And looks like they're about even in 1 and 2. The 77 still losing a couple more positions on Juan Garcia. I don't know. It's 3 laps to go. Gap staying about the same. Gutierrez needs something. He needs another good one like that in 3 and 4 to have a shot. 2 laps to go.
That was a solid 3 and 4, but I just don't know if the 7 has the speed in 1 and 2 that the 70 car does. Josephine O'Neal is going to come to the white flag right here. This is the race. Angel Gutierrez, the closest he's been in the last 10 laps or so.
The 70's been better in 1 and 2. Gutierrez has been better in 3 and 4. O'Neal,
that might be it.
Yeah, that might be it. Gutierrez is going to have to send it. He's going to try it, but O'Neal's going to change her season around will win the crossover battle and win at Devil's Bowl Speedway in a crazy race in the Whataburger 200.
It was a great job by the 70 car to, just hold enough of a gap to keep the 7 back there. That was just spectacular racing. All in all, that was a lot of fun, and all in all, just a good race for the, Josephine O'Neill, and a good race for Angel Gutierrez. Both of them obviously not going to be disappointed. I think Gutierrez obviously going to wish he could have won, but Josephine O'Neill did a great job, especially, controlling the tires. I think did a little better than Gutierrez. We saw Gutierrez sliding it off in the corners. O'Neill was a little bit more patient, so that all paid off in the end.
Absolutely, O'Neill was able to hang on barely, and that is O'Neill's second win on the season. Don't remember where she got first, but that's going to be 2 out of her top 10s are going to be wins, so it's been feast or famine for that number 70 team this season. And you mentioned Angel Gutierrez, still a great one, has 4 top 10s, but other than that, the other 2 races have been terrible for that 17, 15th in points, and a great bounce back day for the number 7 team. And then for the points lead, none of the drivers really up front in this one. David Dixon got 11th, and Juan Garcia got 6th, so I believe that's going to be a 5 or 6 point swing. I believe Juan Garcia might have the point lead by 2 or 3 points over David Dixon going into the short track of the season at Meridian in a couple of weeks. That's going to be fun. Giacomo did bounce back to a 12th place one, so definitely did some damage control right there, but not a great night for him. And unfortunately, some of these drivers in the back we never really saw. Andrew Williams just continued to fall back. Torella kept on falling back. Kennedy, Hernandez, and of course Reggie Fogelman. You saw in the corner of the screen, just blew up and blew a camshaft early. Not been a good season for that 15. Currently into this race 11 in points, and unfortunately going to drop back even further. Well chased, a 50 lap sprint, a ton of crossovers, and we are not done yet. 24 cars small for the ARCA race. Learn that race. Did you learn anything going into that one for the Amsoil ARCA series?
Yeah, I don't know. We saw today. I mean, the racing here tonight was just fantastic. All in all, just super exciting. Don't know what to expect heading into tomorrow's race. It should be interesting to sit back and watch and see how it all plays out. But all in all, congrats to Josephine O'Neill on the victory tonight. Great battle with Angel Gutierrez for about 30 laps or so, and yeah, I appreciate you having me in the booth once again.
Without a doubt, a great battle, and nice having you back. It's been a hot minute, but definitely a good one here for the West Series. The points are now in, and it is going to be a tight championship battle between the last 2 races at Meridian and Heights Peak International. The points are as follows. Juan Garcia now back as the point leader, 3 points over David Dixon, and watch out now, Tanner Pullen with his 4th place one, and Charlie Davenport getting 3rd. Both of those are tied with Giacomo. It's a 3-way tie actually. Pullen, Davenport, and Giacomo all 6 points behind. And then Duetto and O'Neill jumps all the way up to tie for 6, 7 points behind. Dwayne minus 10, and then Gutierrez minus 13, and Mackenzie Sanders minus 14. So a lot of draws to have a shot, but I still think it's going to come down to Garcia, Dixon, maybe Pullen, maybe Giacomo, and maybe Davenport. I think it's going to come down to those 5. But it's going to be wild. The short track of the season, I want to say just over a quarter of a mile at Meridian in Idaho. That's going to be wild to see how that one shakes out. Thanks for Chasers for joining me up here on the booth here for a great battle between O'Neill and Gutierrez. And until tomorrow night for the Winner Center 200 for the Amsoil West Series, we'll see you guys then. Bye!